Phases of the moon by Miles. Have you ever wondered about the phases of the moon? Like what makes the moon light up? The moon doesn't produce its own light. It reflects the light from the sun. Well, when the moon is facing the sun, it is lit up. When it is not facing the sun, it is dark. And did you know the moon is 238,900 miles away from the sun, and the sun is the brightest star in the sky? From Earth, we see different phases of the moon, and it looks like the moon has different shapes.
Order of the Planets by Reagan. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Here is how I remember them. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. It takes Mercury 88 days to orbit the sun. Venus is 67 million miles away from the sun. Earth is the only planet with life. Mars is the red planet because of its red soil. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Saturn has great rings. Uranus and Neptune are almost the same size. Those are the 8 planets. The 8 planets are very nice. I hope you learned a lot about them.
Phases of the Moon by Anthony D. I'm going to tell you some phases of the moon. The new moon, it doesn't reflect any light, so you can't see it from Earth. When the moon looks like it's filling up, it's called the waxing moon. When the moon looks like it's getting smaller, it's called the waning moon. The full moon is also a phase of the moon. The moon gets its different phases from how much light the sun shines on it. The moon is faced at different angles from the sun, which makes that part of it light up. The part that is faced away from the sun is dark.
Order of the Planets by Shay. I know the planets, and this is how I remember them. Mercury is hundreds of degrees below freezing. It is also known as the terrestrial planet. Venus takes 255 Earth days to orbit the sun. Also, it is Earth's sister. Earth's distance from the sun is 108 kilometers. It takes Earth 365 days to orbit the sun. Mars is the red planet. It has red dust, and that is why it's called the red planet. Jupiter has a core of rock and metal. It has 63 moons. Saturn has a core of rock and ice. It has 62 moons. Uranus has 27 moons. It also has a core of rock and possibly ice. Neptune has 13 moons, just like Uranus. It has a core of rock and possibly ice.
Moon phases by Lily. The moon phases are amazing, right? A waning gibbous is when the part of the moon that we can see is to the left. A waxing gibbous is when the part of the moon that we can see is to the right. The moon does not reflect its own light, but the sun reflects light for the moon. When the moon orbits Earth, Earth can block the system of light rays, creating the moon phases.
What causes day and night? By Ceylon. The Earth spins, causing day and night. In 24 hours, the Earth has rotated 1 time. June 21st is the longest day, and December 21st is the longest night. During winter, nights are longer and days are shorter. In summer, days are longer while nights get shorter. There is a pattern with day and night. Day, sunset, night, sunrise. That is a pattern of day and night. Those are a few facts of day and night.
Our seasons and years by Darcy. We get our seasons and year because of the Earth's tilt. We have summer and winter because of the Earth's tilt on its axis. The tilt of the Earth causes the sun to tilt toward us, summer, and away from us, winter. In between we have fall and spring. The axis is at an angle of 23.5 degrees. The Earth is always pointing to one side as it orbits around the sun. The varying amounts of sunlight around the Earth during the year creates the seasons. An Earth's year is the time it takes the Earth to orbit the sun. Earth's orbit around the sun takes 365.24 days. A day is defined as the Earth spins once on its axis. The Earth's year is 365 1/4 days long. Every 4 years they add a day to February to make up for the fourths in the last quarter in every year. When the northern hemisphere is tipped closer to the sun, it is spring and summer. When the northern hemisphere is tilted farther from the sun, it is autumn and winter. During spring and autumn, Earth's only tipped a little. Now you have learned about our years and seasons.
The planets by Cole S. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They are all amazing planets. The close planets such as Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are the planets that are made of carbon, silicon, and ice. Out farther beyond the asteroid belt are the gas giants. They are made up of ice, hydrogen, and methane gas. The sun was formed by a star explosion that sent shock waves through space that caused a swirling cloud of gas and stardust. The cloud spun faster and created disks. One heated up and became our sun. The closer orbits, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are the small, dense planets. Then there's an asteroid belt. Beyond the asteroid belt, you'll find the gas giants surrounded by rings and moons. All the planets in our solar system are different. I'm grateful we have one amazing
Moon phases by Ella and Al. Did you know that the moon phases are due to the moon's rotation around Earth? As the moon rotates the Earth, it reflects the sunlight. Depending on its position determines how much of the moon we see lit up. We only see one side of the moon. We see the bright side of the moon's surface at different angles. The moon takes 29 and a half days to completely cycle the 8 phases.
Day and night, how it happens, written by Sage L. The sun does not move, we orbit the sun, and the moon does a reflection off the sun to the earth. Day we are awake and up. We all go to sleep at night. At day we are awake. We rotate the sun at a 23.5 degree angle. Whatever way we face determines what time of day it is where you live. When it is night, nocturnal animals come out to eat and hunt. It takes 24 hours to have a complete day and night. As shown, where you live determines what time of day it is. This is why we have day and night.
Seasons by Jacob. We have our seasons because the Earth is tilted on its axis as it makes its yearly journey around the sun. When the Earth's axis points towards the sun, it is summer for that hemisphere and winter for the other. The Earth's movement around the sun causes the seasons but does not change the temperature in the season. The Earth is also tilted at a 23.5 angle on its axis, and that's what causes our seasons. Why do we have night and day? By Brenna. Have you ever wondered why we have night and day? When the Earth spins on its axis, the sun shines on one side and makes that side day, while the other side is having night. Earth spins slowly. It takes it about 24 hours to make the Earth have one full rotation. During that rotation, 24 hours is split up into about 12 and 12. 12 of those hours is night, and the other 12 is day. That is why we have night and day.
The moon phases by Sophia H. The moon is rounded like Earth. The moon spins just like Earth. A spin is called a rotation. It takes 29.5 days to orbit the Earth. Lights. The moon reflects sunlight. The moon is going through its phases right at this very moment. These phases are the moon cycle. The phases of the moon depend on its position in relation to the sun and Earth. Why we have seasons by Riley M. When the Earth orbits around the sun, only about half the Earth is covered with light. The half that is covered in light is having summer. The half that is not covered in light is having winter. Somewhere in the middle is spring and fall. When the Earth orbits around the sun, the seasons will change. If the Earth did not orbit around the sun, we would not have seasons, or the seasons would not change. So the tilt of the Earth means that when the Earth leans towards the sun, it's summer. When the Earth leans away from the sun, it is winter 6 months later.
In between these events, spring and autumn will occur. Seasons don't happen near the equator because there's not a whole lot of change in the temperature from one month to the other month, which means no seasons. I hope you learn more about seasons.
What Happens in Winter by Jada. In winter, the North Pole tilts away from the sun, and it's winter in North America. Winter in North America lasts from around December 21st to March 21st. When it's winter in the north part of Earth, it's summer in the south part of Earth. When Earth's axis points towards the sun, it's summer for that hemisphere. When Earth's axis points away, winter can be expected. In winter, temperatures can drop below freezing point of 32 degrees. How we get our seasons and years. Since the tail of the axis is at a 23.5 degrees, the North Pole never points directly at the sun. We have seasons because Earth is tilted wonky as it makes its journey around the sun. The different periods of a year that are known as seasons, summer, spring, autumn, and winter, are all caused by the tilt of Earth's axis and the revolution of the Earth. Once each year it completes one revolution in its orbit around the sun, and once every 24 hours it completes one rotation on its axis. This is how we get our seasons.
Day and Night by Kuba. Did you know the Earth is tilted at a 23.5 degree angle? Have you ever wondered why we have day and night? We have day and night because the Earth rotates or spins. It spins on an imaginary line passing through the North and South Pole. This line is called an axis. It takes 24 Earth days for Earth to rotate on its axis. The half of the Earth facing the sun receives day. The other half facing away from the sun receives no light. It is dark and the half has night. The sun does not move across the sky, starting in the east and rising in the west as the day ends. All in all, we know the half facing the sun has day, while the other half has night. When you have a chance, observe the causings of day and night.
The Years and Seasons of Our Earth by Ella B. Summer's hotter than the other seasons because the sun's rays hit the Earth more directly. The Earth spins on an axis of 23.5 degrees. This makes the seasons. When a hemisphere points toward the sun, that hemisphere has summer. When the hemisphere points away from the sun, it is winter. During winter, the sun's rays hit less directly, making it colder. In spring, the Earth is tilted very little, which causes the days to get warmer. In fall, the same tilt happens except it faces the other way, making the days get colder instead of warmer. Earth's year in orbit takes 365.25 days. A leap year happens every 4 years, and we have 366 days. Seasons are controlled by how direct the sunlight hits. I really hope that you learned about our years and seasons.
Seasons by Elena. Seasons, seasons, seasons. How do they happen? The Earth is tilted on a 23.5 degree angle. It is tilted on its axis. When the northern hemisphere is pointed towards the sun, they are having summer, and the southern hemisphere is having winter. In between is spring and autumn. When spring comes along, the North Pole is moving toward the sun. When summer comes, the Earth is fully pointed at the sun. When autumn is here, the northern pole moves away from the sun, and when winter comes, we are fully pointed away. We also have our year. It takes 365 days to orbit the sun and 24 hours to rotate, 1 Earth day. That is our year and seasons.
Moon phases by Derek. New moon. The moon isn't reflecting the sun. Crescent moon. It's a beginning, kind of a gibbous moon. First quarter moon. When it's half of the reflection. Gibbous moon. It's when it's kind of like a half moon. Full moon. It's when the full moon is full. It's the gibbous moon again, but opposite. It's the last quarter moon from the original year. Last crescent moon. It's the last crescent moon from a month year.
Solar System by Mitchell M. The solar system is full of planets. Here are some interesting facts about them. Mercury takes 88 Earth days to orbit the Sun. It takes 59 Earth days to rotate once.
Mercury doesn't tilt and has a heavily cratered surface. Venus takes 224.7 Earth days to orbit the Sun. It takes 243 Earth days to rotate once. That's longer than its year. Venus tilts at 177 degrees and is covered with volcanic acid. Earth takes 365.25 days to orbit the Sun. It takes 23 hours and 53 minutes to rotate once. Earth tilts at 23.5 degrees and is covered with oceans and land. Mars takes 687 Earth days to orbit the Sun. It takes 24 hours and 37 minutes to rotate once. Mars tilts at 25.2 degrees and has a desert-like surface. Jupiter takes 11.9 Earth years to orbit the Sun. It takes 9 hours and 55 minutes to rotate once. Jupiter tilts at 3.10 degrees and has no surface. Saturn takes 29.5 Earth years to orbit the Sun. It takes 10 hours and 40 minutes to rotate once. Saturn tilts at 26.7 degrees and has no surface. Uranus takes 84 Earth years to orbit the Sun. It takes 17 hours to rotate once. Uranus tilts at 98 degrees and has no surface. Neptune takes 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun. It takes 16 hours to rotate once. Neptune tilts at 28.3 degrees and has no surface. Those are some interesting facts about the planets.
Okay. Days and Nights by Julian.
The Earth is tilted on its axis, which is an imaginary line going through the North and South poles. The process starts at sunrise, then goes to day, noon, sunset, night, midnight, and back to sunrise. The two examples here are the moon is on one side of the Earth, and the sun is leaning on the other side of the Earth. As you can see in the Earth, the two lines are the two axes on the North Pole and the South Pole.
Order of the Planets by Colin R. Solar means sun. The order of the planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Mercury is the smallest planet and a little bigger than our moon. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Earth is called the blue planet because it has water on it. Mars is called the red planet because its soil is red. Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system. Saturn has rings that are made of ice and dust. Uranus has 9 rings. Neptune is the last planet in our solar system. I hope you learned a lot about the solar system.
Moon phases by Jaden. It takes 29 and a half days for the moon to orbit the Earth. As the moon orbits the Earth, it changes shape. New moon. This is when the moon is not lit up. Crescent moon. This is when a little part of the moon is a little lit up. First quarter moon. Some people like to call it a half moon. Gibbous moon. It is almost full, just a little longer. Full moon. Yay! It's full. It is all lit up. Gibbous moon. It is waxing when the moon is getting darker. Last quarter moon. It is halfway to a new moon. Crescent moon. It is so close to being a new moon. This is when the moon is not lit up. I hope you learned a lot about the moon phases down on planet Earth.
Planets by Willow. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. It is a little bit smaller than the moon. Venus is only a little smaller than Earth. The temperature on Venus is 480 degrees Celsius, 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Earth has no rings and only one moon. It is the only planet that has life. An Earth day is 24 hours. Mars has 2 moons. There are no rings around Mars. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Jupiter has more stars than any planet in the solar system. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system. Saturn's rings are made of ice and dust. Uranus orbits the sun like every planet in the solar system. It is made up of gas. Neptune is a sister ice giant to Uranus. It is the coldest planet in the solar system. Pluto is a dwarf planet, but it is about 3.6 billion miles away from Earth. There is no oxygen on Pluto.
Years and Seasons by Carter. Have you ever wanted to know how we get our years and seasons? The Earth tilts at a 23.5 degrees on its axis and faces the same way year-round. We have 365.25 days in a year. The part closest to the sun is having summer, and the part furthest from the sun is having winter. The Earth revolves around counterclockwise. There are plenty more facts out there, so go to your local library to find out more.
Order of the Planets by Sam. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, so it orbits the fastest. It only takes 88 days to orbit around the sun. Venus is the second planet from the sun. It is really hot and takes 225 days to orbit. Earth is the third planet from the sun. It takes 365 days. Mars has red dust, and engineers send rovers to find life on Mars. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. Saturn has rings made of rock and ice. Uranus has 9 rings around it and it is tipped on its side. Neptune is the coldest planet because it is the farthest from the sun.
Days and Nights by Renee. Earth tilts on its axis. This means one side of Earth is facing the sun and the other side of Earth is not facing the sun. This is why we have seasons. The side of Earth that is facing the sun is having spring and summer. The other side of Earth is having winter and fall. The northern and southern hemispheres are always opposite. That means in the south it would be nighttime and in the north it would be daytime. The Earth orbits around the sun while rotating. That is the main reason we have day and night. We can survive if Earth stopped rotating because we would never have day and night. Also, no sunlight would mean no food. Most people think the sun moves. That is not true. Earth orbits around the sun. All of the planets orbit around the sun. That is how all planets have day and night.